But we can give you a picture right now of what we've already seen happen in Marshfield, and this is not a good thing at all.
No, the broken seawall there, this was already in some disrepair, but took a terrible beating in this storm. And the time to start watching apparently around 3 o'clock this afternoon, 2 hours in advance of the high tide. Jim Smith, live in Marshfield. Now, Jim, sounds like an awful lot of energy off the coast there at this moment.
There sure is, Lisa and David. It's a dangerous situation. First of all, let me say Eric is right on the money. He said that the snow has picked up down on the South Shore, and here in Marshfield, the snow rate has increased exponentially over the last 5 minutes. Heavy snow now blowing sideways, but that, unfortunately, is not the least of the problems down here. I want to get you right back to that video of a serious problem here in Marshfield. In the Green Harbor section of town, a section of seawall has been totally breached and has broken open in many spots, and that resulted in the previous high tide very early this morning in the wee hours. A lot of seawater rushing into this Green Harbor neighborhood and doing some damage to many of the coastal homes. In fact, we got a tour from a gentleman named Conrad who's lived here for years. He says the last time he's seen damage like this was back in the no-name storm. Take a listen.
I think I have to move. We get those problems now too often.
And this is one of the worst yet, though, from what I can see.
Yeah, that's one of the worst. My house never had any water in since '91, since the no-name storm. And last night it blew out one slider.
So you have water in your house?
I have water in my sunroom. I'm not complaining. I have heat and electricity. I survive. But it's a tough one.
They got to do something about that wall.
Yes, they should.
So Conrad, obviously, with a very good attitude, considering the damage to his home. The obvious concern now down here in Marshfield is the next high tide, roughly 5 o'clock this afternoon. They're very worried about that. A short time ago, I spoke with the Department of Public Works director. He is advocating an evacuation of at least some residents down here. Once again, this is in the Green Harbor section of town, basically Marshfield's section of Duxbury Beach, if you will. So they've got a real breach going on. They're going to have to take immediate steps and then more long-term steps as soon as they possibly can. Live in Marshfield, Jim Smith, WBZ News.
Yeah, Jim, before you go, if you have just a second, give us a sense how many people are still in that neighborhood. Are there a lot of people who decided to ride this out?
Absolutely, Lisa. Years ago, a town like Marshfield had a good many summer residents who would only spend the June, July, and August down here. But over the last 20 or 30 years, that has changed big time. So there are an awful lot of people who live year-round along that Green Harbor coast, and many other people who live there during the summer and rent out their property during the winter. So we do have, hundreds of people that live in that section. And again, I want to stress, we don't have any reports of injuries or anything like that, but very much a nuisance and real property damage going on. And then down the road a little bit, we also found some pretty serious flooding, just garden variety ocean flooding in a different neighborhood near Green Harbor. That's when the tide comes in and doesn't go all the way back out. So they've got a mess down here.